It's crazy, man. So I spent basically all day in my room and trying to do a document um of like everything that I've like spent towards the rent, towards the studio space that I was doing, and along with investments that were made towards the studio um to increase the value of the place. And let me tell you, man, it is like it is stressful. Um Having to prove how much you are worth. You and it's like you gotta prove yourself to your friends. You gotta prove yourself to your family. You gotta prove yourself to your job. You gotta prove yourself to every goddamn thing that you are worth. Like, everything you're setting yourself out, to do. I may not be making sense. But like, think about it. You have to constantly prove your fucking worth, and it's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying. You know, um, like you can't just be like, hey, I'm a hard worker. I really put a lot into this, and like, I'm really about what I say I am. I get it. There's a lot of phonies out there, and a lot of people that like do not do what they say they're setting out to do. But it's like you see me what I'm doing, and if I do not set out with any ill intention to fuck anyone over, then like what is this problem here? Like, I get it. Like, everyone has a fucking knife to use, but goddamn, bro, that doesn't mean you're worth my knife. To be honest, I'm using this knife to protect myself. You know, like that's the thing. I'm using this knife to protect myself. I got enough worrying to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know, and um, I'm just trying to figure out where I fit in this race. Um, that's just it. And yeah, I'm like losing in my fucking room. I'm losing it. I am straight losing it. Like like 4 times today I thought about fucking killing myself. 4 times. You know what I'm saying? But like why? Why? Eventually this is going to fucking happen, dude. It's just going to happen. I don't know. I don't know when. I don't know when, but it's just going to happen one day. And that's just it. But I'm fucking trying, dude. I'm trying. Like, I feel like I've done enough good, right, to prove that like I'm not a fucking asshole. Don't get me wrong, I'm an asshole. To the extent where you disrespect me, I'll call you out, and I will give you the same energy you dished out towards me. Okay? Because fuck you. Say you're my friend and you act like a fucking piece of shit. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Okay? And you expect me to like just be like, oh, nah. Like I feel like I've done enough good, and it's just me being me, bro. It's literally me just being me, you know, like trying to just set it up for the next person, because someone else is gonna do something that I'm doing just way better, and then what? Like, I'm just existing, bro. I'm literally just existing. And I can't exist in peace when you have everyone trying to fucking like we could all breathe. But no, you feel the need to like climb over me, and you feel like you're more important to breathe. Like, no. No. And that's just crazy. And I get it. That's business. Me creating this document to show that, like, hey, look, this is why, um this is what I put into, and this is what I this is my reimbursement, this is also my back rent that I am owed, you know and basically they're gonna be like, well, why do we feel like that you should get paid this? Well, because the amount that you're paying me doesn't amount to the uh uh to the cost. I mean, to the amount that you can sell all this equipment for, because you can sell it for way more. Of course, you guys are like, what are you talking about? Because you're not looking at the fucking numbers that I'm going through, and I'm just venting. All right, so don't focus on the number part. You know, if you have to know, basically asking for fucking 3,400 to be paid out in full for my reimbursement versus the 20,000 that is the worth of equipment that they can sell for. You know, and that's just a number I threw, because in reality it could be worth between 15 to 20, to be honest, depending on how they want to sell it. Because a lot of equipment nowadays, like especially like music equipment, like its majority is like music and recording equipment. Like, that stuff. Um, it's like people people don't know how to actually evaluate it. You know, to sell. Because they buy it for super expensive, but then they sell it for cheap because they don't know, they don't want to wait, they don't want to, and they just sell it as is. you know but you sell it to Guitar Center, example, they'll sell it for the price like $100 less than what it is brand new. you know and and that's the thing, like especially in the rehearsal business. Like if he's selling the business, then there you go, dude. There you go. You're selling the business and the equipment. So tie that in. Like, because if you piece it out, then fuck, you're crazy, dude. That you're not gonna get shit. And yeah, you know, it's funny because like it's it's day 2 of isolation, and um yeah, I'm just in my room, and I made a thing to like make a podcast for myself to just like talk and basically just share my thought process. And mainly it's just gonna be a bunch of rambling. So if you just stick through all my episodes of me just rambling, then hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. you know but yeah. And I just been going through this, you know and that's why I just been thinking, like, it's crazy I have to prove my worth. I get it's work, but like, it's like, damn, I put everything into that, you know and I lost things while doing that, you know A huge majority of relationships have gone out the window because I was too head focused in this, the bigger picture of what I was doing there. You know, um, one thing that's like really screwed me up is like, I'll probably talk about another time, or I probably talked about it already, but like it's always gonna be on my mind. Is the fact that like I was almost a dad on like, you know on occasions. It's okay because I've only had like two baby mamas. You know, I had one time this girl faked being pregnant. That shit was crazy. You know, but yeah, and the one got an abortion. You know, but that was more of like a discussion, and that's what she wanted to do, and what can I have done? You can't force people. But I made the thing where I was like, hey, I'll get two jobs, I'll work this, I'll do this, and I was ready to just, but no. And it's cool. Like, her life, she's doing her own thing, and that's great. But it's just like damn. And but what's funny? Fast forward, this one girl, you know, uh she hijacked my sperm. She hijacked my sperm. And she hijacked my sperm, and it sounds like, whoa, what do you mean? No, but she did. We were supposed to go take a plan B, but she didn't. And so that happened. And she was gonna have twins, and then they died. The funny thing is, she had a baby daddy already, and what's it called? Like, man, even that, like, she had a baby daddy already, and then this guy's going through the suffering with her of her almost dying of the miscarriage. She lost them both. And yeah, that happened. And they broke up, and eventually later her and I got together, right? And then again, how's this tying into the whole worth thing? Well, fast forward, and her and I are together, and I'm living with her. I had moved out of my ex's house into her house, into her apartment, right? And yeah, we were supposed to just do it together. And when she was pregnant, what she told me? It was like the same situation all over again with my ex. It was like she's like, I'm pregnant. I said, okay. And the first thing that came to mind was that exact scenario. And rather than saying that time of when when that first time that with my ex, rather than saying that like I'll get the job and everything, and I said, well, what are you looking to do? And she says, well, I'm going to get an abortion. I said, okay, well, it's your body, your choice. I can't do anything about it. But deep down inside, I was just like, like, dude, that was painful. And yeah, you guys are like, you're a fucking idiot. How come you didn't say shit? I don't know. I couldn't. I really couldn't. I could, yeah, but I couldn't. And and when that happened, you know, I held her, and I just gave her some space. I had to go to work, and yeah, to find out that when we went to the hospital, um, for her checkup and everything, that the baby was already dying. Right, the baby was already dying. Um, the body was rejecting the baby and was killing it. So regardless, she had to get an abortion. Right, I was with her at the hospital. I was with her throughout the whole thing, and even then, I even asked her, "Is there any way we can save the baby?" She said no. You know, and so her and I went to the clinic. She got it, and that was all it. That was all it. Um, and you know, but I was there the entire time. I was there, right? I was with her at the hospital. I took her to the hospital. I took her to the procedure. You know, we went to go get food. You know, to go home, and then I was like, and yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I kind of don't even know how to talk here because it's like the hard part is sharing how I feel. You know, that's the hard part. Um, but yeah, I was hurt. And I'm not saying she doesn't, bro. She must have felt so broken. And you know what she told me later on? She told me, Peter, I wish you had told me that we could do this together. I was like, what? I was with you the entire time. The entire time I was with you. You're telling me that my actions didn't speak louder than my words? You know, I don't know what the right things to say. Each person is different, dude, to be honest. And you know, I can only do what I'm doing. You know, I'm not blaming it on being naive or not understanding social cues. I was in that same scenario, and I just said whatever, you know. And so throughout the entire time, here I am having to prove to her that's the another year that we were together that you know I'm the guy. I'm worth it, you know. Has an apartment, has you know a person that, like, you know, she just asked me to, like, hey, can you take my kid to school? Can you, you know, if she was to just ask me, like, hey, Peter, can you send me this? No problem. You know, I'm not a fucking piggy bank, guys. I'm not. It's just, yeah, it's having to prove your worth to someone. And of course, like I said, like, you know, all this is just rambling, and if you're listening to it and everything, like, hey, again, thank you, but it's just like, you know, I'm not trying to sound perfect, and I'm not trying to defend myself, you know. But yeah, eventually she said, like, she doesn't want to have a kid with me because um of what I told her. Told her that her body, her choice, and you know, she wanted me to say that we could do this together when it's just like the baby was dying. I even asked, can we do anything to save the baby? No. And I was there throughout the entire procedure. You know, I just wasn't the previous person that she was used to. You know, just like the other exes that I just recently had, you know. Um I'll give an example on this one. You know, I cuz I can't get into the other ones, but I'll give an example about this one where uh you know, I go to get Korean barbecue with her friends, and I'm just trying to eat with her and her friends. But her friends feel like they have the need to interrogate me and see if, okay, cool. Mind you, mind you, her previous relationship beat her, like, or and abused her. You know, I don't know roughly the like, I know the details. I'm not gonna get into those details, but it's just like, that's the kind of stuff you see on like on Hulu, you know, original movie. You know what I'm saying, about some shit, and you're just like, damn, that is like, I'm sorry you went through that. You know, but I am not that, and I am there for you if you need to talk to me, and if you need some time, you know, or you know, when you come over, you know, just feel free, you know. And you know, it was great up until when we went to go get Korean barbecue with her fucking friends. Now with my friends, when she went, she I just invited her straight up. It was my friend's birthday party, and I invited her straight up, and no one had met her. It was literally the first time anyone has met her, and they treated her just like just like everyone else. Cool. And they're younger than her friend group, by the way. All my friends are barely either hitting like 30, you know, if not in their mid 20s. So it was just crazy that, like, you know, um the maturity level there, you know. So fast forward, we get to the dinner, and yeah, they were just rude. Just one. I take that back. Just the one. Everyone else was doing their own thing. But I have to prove, like, I'm being called broke. I'm being called, you know, idiotic, and it's because of my views and my work. You're a stay-at-home mom that lied about being a nurse. Her friend, when I asked, I said, "Oh, hey, what do you do for work?" And she was just like, "Oh, I'm a nurse." Okay. I found out a week later, after being judged, and by the way, that time, my girl and I almost, like, my ex and I almost broke up in that same day. She was the one that's like, "Oh, I don't know if are you serious?" Because your friend doesn't like me and is thinking I'm a piece of shit versus what you dated in the past. What you dated in the past, and I'm a piece of shit. That again, insane. Insane. You know? And so I find out a week later that she's a stay-at-home mom. She's just a stay-at-home mom. And nothing wrong with stay-at-home moms. Nothing wrong with stay-at-home moms. Okay? But own it. What's wrong with being home? What's wrong with being a stay-at-home mom? What's wrong with being a stay-at-home mom? Why do you have to lie? Like, if you need to make your life interesting and everything like that. That just makes you sound even sad. You know. something there. You feel like you regret something, or you feel like, you haven't, you feel like you're stuck. If you can't proudly say that you're a stay-at-home mom, that's crazy. Because there's literally nothing wrong with it. But the fact that you have to lie and say that you're something that you're not, and here I am just like, well, she's probably stressed out because she's a nurse, and I have a friend that's in nursing, and I used to work in that environment, working at a rehabilitation facility, so I seen how the nurses are, and it's stressful. And so maybe she just wasn't having a good time, and I can't blame her. But then to find out that she's just a stay-at-home mom, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I'm being called broke. And I don't even know how to get into more context about that, because my girl didn't, at the time, she didn't pay for that fucking meal. And when it came down to her birthday, even though I was negative fucking $300, right, I still paid for the fucking her birthday dinner, which was like close to like almost 200, like $180 at her favorite restaurant. Because why? The next day I was going to get paid for something that I already had going on, money that I was owed. Like, I wasn't tripping about it. It's just a principle, man. It's a principle. Like, I don't care about the money. I care about the principle. I care about the principle. I don't care about the money. So it's just like, it's the fact that I have to fucking prove myself. It's the principle that I'm putting in the time and effort into doing these things, and then these people feel like they have the audacity to just step on me and say, like, you know what, you don't make the cut. Like, but who are you? And that's the thing too. Like, I'm not petty like that. I'm not like, like, I can be petty. I can be. But like, what does that even do? Like, again, I'm just trying to exist here. I'm just trying to fucking figure this shit out. Like, I got a good setup. I got a good home. I got a car. I got a job. I got benefits. And I completed a life's work, that is established, has that I've been doing for 8 years, and I finally completed it, and that's it. And I can move on to bigger things. I have all that on my belt. But I don't need to fucking entertain these people. Because in the end of the day, like, I've done more than you. And if you've done more than me, then great. That's what you're supposed to do. That is your life. Anyways, I'm done rambling for today, but tune in again to hear me ramble. If not, I appreciate your time, and leave a comment. Anything. You can literally say anything. I don't care. I'm not gonna take it personal or anything like that. Like, like, it's literally just you saying whatever, and yeah, just have fun. Again, thank you for your time and tuning into this, and Yeah. Man, I'm like trying to find, like, I want to stop, but like the feeling, it's just like I want to talk. You know, and the point of this podcast is just for me to fucking talk. It's just for me to talk. You know, it's just for me to talk. But yep. Anyways, have a good day. Later.